Today, I wanted to pop on and talk to you about Taurus season, which is starting this weekend. So we call them seasons. They're little snippets. It's the months of the year that are in the different zodiac signs. So the astrological year starts in springtime at the vernal equinox. We just had Aries season, and now we're moving into Taurus season. And if you're a Taurus, you know that more than most because your birthday will be during Taurus season. But what I want to talk about today is something that's going to affect all of us, no matter what your astrological sign or what your chart says. There for the last several years and for the next several years is a planet in Taurus that is causing a lot of chaos, and I wanted to talk about that. So Uranus, the planet of complete and total freedom that borders on chaos, is in Taurus. And Uranus, it's interesting, they named Uranus for a sky god. It's where we get the word urine from, actually, is an antiquated way of thinking about rain from the body. So Uranus is a sky god, or it's named after Uranus, who was the sky god. And the sky god in mythology is actually the father of Saturn. And so if you remember your astronomy, the visible seven, the first several planets that are visible, end with Saturn. So Saturn, for a long time, was considered the lord of time. And this is because it was the slowest moving visible planet to us on Earth. Beyond Saturn, once we get to things that only telescopes and satellites can see, we then have Uranus. So then they decided to name that one after the father of Saturn. Of course, in antiquated mythology, things are never quite as simple as we think of family relationships being, although often regular family relationships aren't quite as simple as we think family relationships are. But Uranus and his son Saturn have a very antagonistic relationship. One of them winds up eating the other one, and then the other one winds up like emerging from the belly of the one who ate them, and they're in this battle. And I think that's really interesting because Saturn rules time and boundaries and restrictions, and Uranus rules freedom and chaos and sudden, unexpected events. So when you have the two interacting together, they're not naturally friendly because one of them wants you to have rules and structures, and then the other one wants you to have complete freedom, chaos, and surprise. And so this year is really interesting because they both have been in Earth signs. Saturn has now moved on, but Uranus is sitting in Taurus for years and years and years. To describe this would be to look at the last time Uranus was in Taurus. We had things affecting Earth energy, Taurus ruled things. So Taurus rules things like the environment. Taurus rules things like finance and money. Taurus rules things like the conservation of societal ideas sometimes, although that's a Capricorn thing too, and a Virgo thing. Those are the three Earth signs. So with Uranus and Taurus, things pop up with money, things pop up with the environment, things pop up in our society that are unexpected, such as the last time this happened, we had the Great Depression. We had the precursors for building, I think, the national park system and several different conservation systems that came out of the Great Depression. So there was both great difficulty and great innovation that came from it, because Uranus also rules our ability to suddenly innovate. So this Taurus season, as the sun moves past Uranus and illuminates it a little more for us, my hope is that we take the challenges that are happening to us on this kind of earthly plane and we use them as a catalyst for innovation. So you can innovate simply by sitting in your circumstance. That's what Taurus energy does, and dreaming up how you'd actually like it to be. And when you sit with yourself in your current circumstance, the likelihood that a spark of idea will come to you is much, much higher. So, and that's not just my opinion, that's like the astrology of the matter. And so my thoughts for you this Taurus season, as we're all often sitting at home, not by our own choosing, is to really utilize that energy and utilize that moment to be a catalyst for innovation, rather than a reactionary taking back action for fear or anxiety. So of course it's okay, whatever you feel, fear, anxiety, chaos, it's all fine. But just know that all transits, no matter how long they take, are temporary. And so we're already moving through that one. And Taurus season brings the fixed state of spring. So it's time to give ourselves some peace, give ourselves some newness, give ourselves some movement, even if things feel stagnant right now. So that's what I had to say today. And if you are interested in astrology or AstroYoga, I do send out a free weekly AstroYoga forecast to your inbox. If you're curious about that, there's a link to sign up in my bio, or you can DM me with your email and name. I'm also offering free 15-minute consultations if you have a brief question, or if you are not sure about getting your first reading with me and you want to talk a little bit beforehand. Okay, I hope you have a wonderful day and that you are staying well. Bye, guys.